of Defense directive, which again did not get picked up and reported on. But I found the directive, and I'm going to be able in WorldNet Daily this week to expose that. I mean, it's why when you say these are contrived crises, that it's why the red alert, what I'm trying to do in the red alert is to alert people to the economics that are going to affect their lives. You've got the car industry. The car industry is in desperate trouble. But yet, for the bailout money, you've got one of the major companies, I think it's GM. We just reported on it.
It is GM, $1 billion to move to Brazil. Go ahead in your own words.
Brazil. Yeah, $1 billion to move to Brazil. Now, how's that going to help build U.S. jobs? As part of the agenda, there you're building an international car industry where, like I said, in 10 years we might not have a single car built in the United States. That's the internationalization of the car industry, and it's being done through a bailout, bailout money being used with GM saying this is the way we need to be profitable. Now, I'm sure that the majority of listeners never intended the bailout money was going to be used to send car jobs to Brazil.
Going back to
part of the internationalization.
Going back to the FEMA camps, he has started this new USAservice.org that's private, his own private army, and is running these ads with federal money and the Ads Council to get the volunteers. And now on the White House website today, they admit that it's going to be, quote, for the climate crisis and other things. So they mean business.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I've got the Department of Defense directive that creates that new civilian corps. And I was reading it. I just got it over the weekend. This morning I was reading it. It calls even in military situations where this civilian corps could be called up.
Oh, I know. We wrote a story about it 2 weeks ago. Stay there. We're going to come right back with Dr. Jerome Corsi in a final segment with him. More on the Obama agenda, what we're going to see his globalist handlers do. Will the Obamanoids wake up?
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Millions of Americans are beginning to realize the enormity of the economic and political problems facing the U.S. and the world. And for the first time in their lives, they are feeling the need for preparedness. Ready Reserve Foods has been in continuous operation, manufacturing the finest and dehydrated foods for almost 40 years. Ready Reserve is the manufacturer. Unlike other companies that just broker canned foods, Ready Reserve controls the quality from start to finish with double enameled cans and nitrogen packaging. When purchasing from Ready Reserve Foods, you are buying factory direct at wholesale prices. Other companies are quoting delivery times of 1 to 2 months, while Ready Reserve ships within 5 business days. Many companies do not even offer a catalog. We will be more than happy to send a catalog to you free of charge. Dial 1-800-453-2202, 1-800-453-2202, or visit our website at ReadyReserveFoods.com. Factory direct, wholesale pricing from Ready Reserve Foods. Call us at 1-800-453-2202.
On September 11th, 2001, along with hundreds of my fellow troops, I went to Ground Zero, and we knew what to do. Or at least we thought we did.
Truth Rising is a breakthrough 9/11 film that finally gives first responders a platform to tell their story.
Whitman, EPA director, on the 18th made a statement that the air was safe to breathe.
This film follows the growing momentum of 9/11 truth as brave souls throughout the world take action against their global masters.
He had his hand over the radio while he was getting a countdown. He takes his hand off and you hear 3, 2, 1, and it was boom, 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 boom.
This is an emergency transmission worldwide. Download Truth Rising at prisonplanet.tv and aggressively spread it worldwide, or order the DVD at Infowars.com. If we don't expose the government-sponsored terror, they're going to commit more acts and bring in martial law.
With rising unemployment and an economy that continues to fail comes an increase in crime. Are you safe when you walk to your car? Are your kids safe when they go out? Everyone needs something to give that extra edge in case of an attack. You need DPS pepper spray from MrDefense.com. DPS is the strongest pepper spray on the market and is the same spray used by hundreds of law enforcement agencies from around the world. Need something more? The Stinger keychain is a great way to surprise a potential attacker. Mr. Defense carries the largest selection of stun guns, air tasers, knives, swords, batons, survival, spy, and tactical gear. Mention this ad and receive 10% off your order. Visit MrDefense.com. That's MRDefense.com or call 1-800-313-6400. 1-800-313-6400. That's 1-800-313-6400 today.
Dr. Jerome Corsi, in the 10 minutes or so we have left with you. Doesn't matter what president it is, this globalist agenda, the police state, the control grid, the offshore banks, power expands. All these poor fools thought the bad things happening in the U.S. were all George Bush when he was just a puppet. Same thing now with Obama, but they built him up as this messianic leader. But this is still an incredibly tyrannical agenda to get through. A lot of Obamanoids are now starting to wake up that they were lied to. But a lot are getting very vicious and very threatening to myself and many others when we simply point out the facts. So, and they're building this private army to deal with the American people. This looks like a recipe for disaster. We have all these global economic leaders saying that they expect riots worldwide. It's already started. The Icelandic government has fallen. Projecting out into the future, how do you see this collision between the foundation creation? You know, Obama's mother, of course, was the protege of Mr. Geithner's father. How do you see this unfolding?
Well, first of all, I think, Alex, you're right. You can't tell the Democrats and the Republicans apart in terms of they're all globalists. And now you've got globalism from the left, which has its, socialist agenda. Going to be a lot more putting people on welfare, getting them to be dependent on government checks. That agenda is going to kick in now under Obama. And I've been pointing out, continuously that Obama is going to renege on all of his campaign promises. Look, he said he was going to renegotiate NAFTA to protect more U.S. jobs. He said the same thing at the town meeting in Indiana today. But yet, the Buy American provisions that were put into the economic stimulus package were taken out. They added a sentence that said, we'll buy American in accordance with existing international trade agreements. Well, that means we're not going to buy American. It's a lie. My next book is going to be America for Sale. And I'm making it clear in America for Sale that there is a New World Order agenda. It does call for going to regional and then global economies and governments. And, Alex, it'll be advanced by the real powers here who are not Obama or Bush. You've got to look to the Trilateral Commission. You've got to look to the Council on Foreign Relations. You've got to look to the bankers who are controlling and manipulating the financial crises that we're in. I mean, that's where I'm focusing my attention. And I'm saying that we come out of an Obama administration, it's going to be very much weakened with the dollar gone. I don't see how the dollar is going to survive $6.5 trillion worth of borrowing in the next 2 years. We're monetizing our debt, meaning the dollar is going to be increasingly worthless. We're paying off our debt with worthless dollars. But people are going to suffer through this period of time. We've right now got 7.5% unemployment. What are we going to do when we get 10% unemployment? What if it goes to 20% unemployment? And Obama's plan, this economic stimulus plan, is not going to create jobs. It's just going to put more people on federal dependent government welfare payments.
And as the dollar's devalued and people are still getting their welfare check, but it won't buy anything, that's when the rioting breaks down. Then they use the troops to quell it. Now the precedent's been set and the public's been sold, the frightened middle class, that troops on the street's a good thing.
Well, we've always seen, the fact that this, Representative Hastings has introduced this detention camp measure on military bases, this is the first time I've seen that. I reported in 2007 that one of the former Halliburton companies, KBR, had a $375 million contract with the Department of Homeland Security to build detention centers as needed on a contingency basis. This is very different. This is the Obama administration openly saying, we're going to have detention centers for civilians on military bases. Well, what do we need those for? The only thing I can think of is that Alex, I think you and I better get our orange jumpsuits ready. We're probably candidates number 1 and number 2 in those camps. I'm not sure which of us is going to be number 1, but we're on the list.
Well, in closing, go ahead.
And then you get economic conditions worsening, and people are going to riot. That's why I'm continuing to write about this in World Net Daily, and I'm hard at work on this America for Sale. The next book will be out in